1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Let's get it. Yo, Dennis here, back with another video. Y'all already know what the lick read. Make sure y'all like and subscribe and hit that notification button. It's greatly appreciated. But first, hey, you right there, you. Watch the videos to the end. Alright, so tonight, I think y'all already know what this episode is going to be about if you've been checking out the past few episodes we've been doing our reviews lately. So if y'all been following along, if you obviously y'all see the title, y'all see the thumbnail, so y'all know what this is all about. Tonight we'll be reviewing 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne's Welcome to COLLIEGROVE. This is the prequel to COLLIEGROVE, the first one that was released a few years back. Y'all know the backstory behind that and why this concept came to be. You know, the first installment of this series was basically, it was about Lil Wayne, and he was going through a contract dispute with his former label, Cash Money Records, and we all know how that turned out, so we don't want to dive into that. So moving along in 2023, before we go into 2024, 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne, they hooked up once again, re-up, and did this album the right way, I guess is what I'm getting from it, entitled Welcome to COLLIEGROVE, the sequel to COLLIEGROVE. So digging into that, we're not gonna dig into all the tracks, 21 songs obviously. I noticed that one thing before we dig into it. I noticed that it wasn't a lot of reviews on this and a lot of reactions to this, and then I also seen a few videos out there in the metaverse that they've been breaking them down song for song, and I noticed that I seen maybe one solid review. They did a total dissection of the entire album song for song. They gave good feedback, good in-depth. So what I decided to do is I'm going to talk about the highlights. So I'm going to mention about 10 songs out of the 21, and then I'm going to give you my honest reaction to it and my honest feedback. We're not going to play no songs or nothing like that, 'cause I ain't got time to be dealing with no copyright infringement. As you know, we all trying to monetize here. We're trying to get this watch time up, and I do not want to piss YouTube off by no means, my brother. So let's get into it, shall we? So I wrote down a few lists here. First of all, let me shout out the producers that was on this that contribute to the project, just to name a few. I'm not gonna name all y'all, but highlight it. First of all, shouts out to Big Crit, shouts out to Juicy J, Manny Fresh. Manny Fresh has made quite a few appearances on this project, I've noticed. I also saw Bangladesh. Bangladesh actually has the single Pressure, which y'all heard first. This was like one of the first songs released from Welcome to COLLIEGROVE before it dropped, giving us indication that this was coming. So we already knew this was coming. It's released out of Def Jam, of course. Yeah, so I thought I'd start off with that. Let's get that one out of the way. Definitely, it's a lot of other videos. They already started shooting videos, I noticed, for this project. Another song that stuck out to me was PPA featuring Fab. We talked about Pressure already. Let's move on to the next joint I noticed that stand out. I think this was a single, I guess you could say. Now, long story short, crazy. I love the beat. You know, I was listening to all the production. That's the first thing I learned off the back about this project. Way different sound. This really felt like, I guess you could say, an album, because the first one was like an album, but it was more like EP mixtape type of vibe to me. So this one really felt like they were trying to put a whole overall album together, because it had some of everything on that, which I'll touch on at the end. So let's get to these standouts. We finished with Long Story Short, PPA featuring Fab. I want to say Transparency is probably another potential single featuring Usher. Y'all already know what Usher been doing, killing it with his residency in Las Vegas. He's got the hottest show on the planet right now, the hottest ticket in town, obviously. Moving along, I noticed off the back they had one of my favorites, my favorite guy. He didn't rap on it, but he definitely did all the interviews. Shouts out to 50 Cent. I thought that was pretty rather unique to give 50 Cent. He didn't do any features on it, but he was more so like the narrator through the whole entire album. Now, the transitions through the album, I think one guy mentioned, and I echo the same sentiments for sure, that the transitions from the interludes to the setup of the next song as to what's to come next, it was pretty much all over the place. I definitely agree with that critique for sure along the way, but nonetheless, I definitely enjoyed all the interludes, so I definitely consider 50's interludes as a standout by itself, and he did not rap not one time. Now, moving along, another song, Shame. Definitely they used a little bit of cadence of ODB. Shouts out to the Wu-Tang Clan. I thought that was pretty dope. I noticed that at this point, I noticed that 2 Chainz is actually rapping. Lil Wayne is actually rapping more. I'm seeing a new version of Wayne right now, especially when we get around to Oprah and Gayle. Now, Oprah and Gayle features one of my favorites, of course, out of the, well, he's not new, but he ain't old either, so he's right in between. Shouts out to Benny the Butcher. Shouts out to Griselda. Shouts out to the whole Black Soprano family and Drum Work and Conway and all them guys over there. But Benny the Butcher definitely showed out on this one. I think everybody barred it up on this one. So overall, the song was super duper dope. I did not expect that one coming, but then again, I could see that happening too as well. Moving along to Moonlight, which is almost like the last track on the album, featuring Marsha Ambrosius. If I'm saying your name wrong, darling, I'm sorry. That's the best I can do. It is what it is. Then we got Transparency featuring Usher. I think I mentioned that. I almost overlooked the song called Can't Believe You featuring Rick Ross. Now, you know, if Rick Ross on there, you already kind of know what the production is going to, because it's going to have that Rick Ross feel. You're going to get that Maybach music feel to it. So I thought it was a nice touch. Everybody jumped on it. Like I said, it's starting to feel like more of an album, and I understand they were trying to put together an album as a complete whole based off the production, you know what I mean? So I understand that. What's another standout? Significant Other is another standout. It's pretty much the same. Like, I noticed two things about this project. I noticed that it's a nice amount of commercial records on there. That's number one. Like I said, I'm not gonna go through all 21 songs, but it's a nice balance of commercial records, potential singles, and then as a curveball, we're getting a lot of rapping, a lot of bars, a lot of backpack bars. I see this is the new Lil Wayne that I'm starting to see, especially like as of the years go by. At the past few years, I've been seeing flashes of backpack Wayne. So I've been seeing a lot of features with Wayne just collabing with the Alchemists, the Griseldas, and all the rappers of the hip hop culture in terms of backpack, showing his pen game is there. I even seen 2 Chainz even stepped his bars up and started jumping in, throwing his hat in the ring with the wordsmiths of the backpack and you know what I mean, like people that's lyrically inclined. 2 Chainz is holding his own, you know what I mean? I don't know if I named all 10, but I'm pretty sure I did. But to say the least, I give this album a pretty solid out of 5. I give it a 3.5 out of 5 for sure, out the gate. The album doesn't really lack anything. It just, in some cases, it's kind of all over the place. If you look at it from the way the song list is constructed, you could say that. It'll give the impression that it's all over the place, but it's really a nice helping. They basically gave you, in today's world of making music, you know, you're good for like 10, 12 songs to consider an LP these days, but they took it back to where they're giving you a nice helping. 21 songs with interludes included. I think it's about maybe 3 or 4 interludes on there, I would say, and out of that, they're giving you a nice album. So with that being said, I give it a solid effort. Shouts out to Lil Wayne, shouts out to 2 Chainz. So I ain't gonna talk your ears off too much, even with the reviews. I mean, I guess this is fairly new because not a lot of people is really talking about this, at least on YouTube. I'm not really seeing anything. It might be some shorts somewhere, but I thought I'd give it a full review. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching this video to the end if you made it this far. And for those of you on the new, make sure y'all like and subscribe, hit that notification button, and go to www.powercircle.life and get yourself some. That's right, TFEBOSS knockout all-purpose seasoning for just $10. Don't just buy 1, buy 10. Bringing the fun and the simplicity back to cooking. It will be sure to bless you. I promise you that. Don't take my word for it. Just buy you a jar and you'll understand what I mean. So with that being said, y'all know my slogan: keep God first, stay sucker free, and by all means get to the money. Peace and love, stay healthy, and I'm out. Peace.